welcome to live class. So everyone, as soon as you enter your name and branch, it fetches your attendance. Okay, generally if you have come to school, you are having internal marks by seeing all your activities, including your attendance. So don't miss your marks. So we have discussing about the second lesson of our subject, the respiration. Respiration is the energy supplying system, and what is respiration means? The inhalation and exhalation process of taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide is known as respiration. So the respiration is a complete process when we take from the outside environment and enter into the inside, and then vice versa, means it is a balancing thing that is happening. Do you observe that? Taking air, giving out carbon dioxide, taking oxygen, giving out carbon dioxide, means balancing. Oxygen, instantly if you give oxygen to the body, carbon dioxide is taken out from the body. This is about respiration. And the respiration is derived from the Latin word respire, which means to breathe, and also the respiration system was conducted by many scientists. Of them, the two scientists were Joseph Priestley and Lavoisier. And Joseph Priestley discovered oxygen, and the term oxygen was coined by Lavoisier. So he done an experiment, Priestley-Bell-Jar experiment you have studied in the previous lesson, and Lavoisier he named, before oxygen and carbon dioxide, he named vitiated air and fixed air. Vitiated air. Vitiated air is nothing but oxygen that helps for burning and for survival of living organisms. Fixed air is nothing but it is evolved from the chalky acid gas. It turns off the candle, and also it is released from the bodies of living organisms. And another one scientist in the 18th century, in his book, he has written some sentences. That is nothing but John Draper. Who is nothing but John Draper? He returned in his book Human. He was a human psychologist, physiologist. So he written like that. Okay. So what he has written means, if anything was burned, it need water and oxygen. After burnt, it releases water and oxides of carbon. He mentioned like that. And we have discussed some steps and events in the respiration. What is the first one? Breathing, and the second one gaseous exchange in the lungs, and next gaseous exchange from blood to different parts of the cell, and at last it leads to cellular respiration. That was okay. And now what happens when it enters into the lungs? What happens? The exchange takes place. Okay, students. So from where the breathing starts, starting from the nostrils, what starts? The breathing starts. If the video does not come in your app, you ask your branch principal. He will say. If anything was a problem, you ask to your branch principal. He will clarify your doubt. If you have problem in listening my voice or any audio or video, it is your signal problem or your gadget problem. Nothing more than that. Okay, students, let us enter into our topic. So here in the 7th class respiration topic, you have done an experiment by taking two test tubes, isn't it? By taking two test tubes like this, and in one we are taking what? Just normal water we are taking. And here we have to take lime water. And from here the two tubes were connected to your mouth. Okay, as soon as you blow air, what happens? You take air and you will blow air. So in this, what happens? Any change is happening that you have done in the 7th class experiment. What you have to do? You have to take test tubes, with one test tube with normal water and another test tube with the lime water. If you blow anything, it will pass. If you are blowing air, it will pass to the test tubes to both. If you are, what you are doing, if you blow air from mouth to two test tubes, so one of the test tube will turn to milky white. Milky white. If lime water turns to milky white, then we conclude that the gas is carbon dioxide. Okay students, the gas is carbon dioxide. So from here we can confirm that the exhaled air is nothing but carbon dioxide. The exhaled air is nothing but carbon dioxide. You will get in your physical science also. What is that? Which gas turns the lime water to milky white? Which gas turns the lime water to milky white? That is nothing but carbon dioxide. That is nothing but carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide gas will come with effervescence also. In your 8th class, you have studied the story of microorganisms or the world of microorganisms. No? So in the preparation of batter, okay. So all members, why I am recalling the previous lesson means that is much interconnected. You have studied 7th class respiration, but that 7th class respiration have come now. Isn't it? If you better recall or if you have the recognition of that knowledge, previous knowledge, then only you will get progress in the current syllabus. Isn't it? So in your 7th class you have 8th class biology. In the 8th class biology you have studied what is that? In the preparation of idli batter or dosha batter or in the preparation of cakes, you are using yeast. Isn't it? You are using yeast. So during the batter was kept rest for 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 5 to 6 hours. Okay, in that you are adding yeast and you are keeping that entire setup in the warm place. Isn't it? And what does the yeast do? The yeast will eat the sugar and it makes the batter spongy in nature and become spongy in nature. And while it's doing its activity, it also needs some energy. Na? Yeast is also a living organism. What is that? A bacteria, a microorganism. While it want to do work, it also need energy. That energy will get from respiration only. While doing respiration, what it does, while doing its activity, it releases carbon dioxide gas. What it does? It releases carbon dioxide gas. That carbon dioxide gas settles in between the particles of the batter. Settles in between the particles of batter. That is why when you prepare the batter, that will be up to here only. If you prepare any batter, no, that will be up to here. After some 8 hours, it is becoming up to this much. This much increase you will notice. This is because we are adding yeast to the batter, no. So yeast will take energy and it will make this batter into what? That batter into larger quantity. Here it means it will release carbon dioxide gas. What the yeast is releasing? Carbon dioxide gas. Yeast is releasing carbon dioxide gas, and this carbon dioxide here. The battery is tightly packed. How the idli batter will be? It is tightly packed. But as soon as the yeast releases carbon dioxide, no, the yeast released carbon dioxide will be coming in between, occupying the space between the particles of the batter and increases in the volume. The gas separates the particles and it enters in between the particles and it becomes smooth in nature. In the physics, in the 9th class you have studied, there is a space in between the particles and particles. That space is occupied by air itself or gas. Same like that. Here also the particles are becoming. So which gas makes the particles, which gas makes the batter smooth and spongy is nothing but carbon dioxide. In the baking process also, there you will use baking powder that contains yeast. That is why the cakes are how they are in nature. They are spongy in nature because it releases carbon dioxide gas. That is the one point. What is the carbon dioxide gas is doing here? The released carbon dioxide gas turns the lime water into milky. And also it makes the batter smooth and spongy. And you have observed in the roadside ways, they will keep a soda machine, that what is that lime water, the sweet lime water, and sometimes they use lemon water, isn't it? They keep water, that can in the soda machine and they give, and as soon as they pour on the lemon water. So there what you saw, as soon as they are pouring the soda, what comes? Some fumes will come. That is nothing but effervescence. What is that? What is that? That is nothing but effervescence, white color effervescence. You all members have seen the advertise of ENO. ENO powder, you know? Yes, ENO. Next, ENO also contains some yeast and a tablet by name Histac. Histac, Histac, Histac. So if you get ENO powder, if you are in your home, if it is present, you take that Histac and pour the Histac in the water. What happens? It will increase some bubbles, white color bubbles will come. That is nothing but CO2 gas. That you notice effervescence, that is because of CO2 gas. And in the place of yeast, you can add ENO to idli batter or dosha batter also. ENO to the batter. And sometimes you can add ENO to where in the preparation of cakes. If you, in your home, if you want to prepare cakes, you can add ENO. ENO also contains yeast. So having heard the preparation of dokla. In the dokla also same preparation of idli, but same like puffy in nature doklas will come. In the dokla, many members will add ENO. ENO is basic in nature. What is the nature of ENO? Basic in nature. You have studied acids and bases, no? Basic in nature. In the stomach, the stomach produces gastric juice. We have discussed that gastric juice. In that gastric juice, HCl is present. That kills the microorganisms. That is acid in nature. So much acid is produced. If you not take in time food, at that time acid is released. That's why we take ENO, which is base. Acid reacts with bases and gives neutral in condition. So that is an extra information. That also will come. In the further lessons. So we are discussing about what CO2 is released during respiration. So how we can confirm CO2 is released means the lime water turns to milk white, while as the normal water does not give any change. So sometimes this lime water can turn to milky effervescence, and CO2, the main nature of carbon dioxide is to make the food smooth and spongy. Smooth and spongy. And the next, yes. So here this is the pathway. This is actually mouth. This position we see mouth. So nose is upside and mouth is downside. Okay. So here nostrils, from nostrils it passes through nasal cavity. How the breathing takes place? From nostrils it will go, and here what happens? It enters into the nasal cavity. Okay, you everyone know about your nose. In the nose, if you touch your nose, but don't touch your nose, don't keep. So some of you will think that in the child sorry, some disturbance happening. So just so you don't think that in the childhood days when we are in primary, you not to keep fingers in the noses. It is not a good habit. Yes, it is not a good habit. You should not keep. But now for understanding, I am saying, if you observe your nostrils, isn't it, in the nasal cavity, what happens as soon as in the nostrils here nasal membrane is present. If you touch here, no, that is wet in nature. What is that? Nostrils. First one we are discussing about nostrils. So where the starting of respiration takes place. The nostrils is the starting of the respiration. Air enters to the body through nostrils. And after nostrils, what is present? Nasal cavity is present. Nasal cavity is present. If you observe nasal cavity, it contains small tiny hairs and it will be wet in nature. Small tiny hairs, and also it is how it is in nature? It is wet in nature. What is the use of this tiny hair and wet in nature means? The air we take contains small dust particles. They get filtered in where? In the tiny hair, and also the moist content is present. No, the dust particles are what is powdery in nature. So what happens? It being the wet condition, they will struck here only. Okay, the dust particles will struck here only. That is the use of what the wet condition and tiny hairs present in the nasal cavity. And if you observe after nasal cavity, what is here present? Pharynx. What is the next thing present? Pharynx. You observe pharynx here. It is a long tube-like structure. Isn't it, students? It is a long tube-like structure. Okay. See here, it is a tube-like structure, no? Okay. Here, if you observe from pharynx to larynx, here a flop-like structure is present. This is nothing but epiglottis. What is this? Epiglottis. Sometimes while you are eating, no, the food particles may have the chance to come from the nose. Why? Why? Because the common passage, if you observe, no, common passage is present. Common passage is present. So this, what is the function of epiglottis? It is in between the nasal cavity and the mouth cavity. It is present in between these two cavities, and it do the function of partial opening and closing. It won't be closed totally. Partial opening. When we eat the food or when we breathe, it gives the partial opening. Mosquito. Okay, students. So what you have to do is one experiment is there for you. So what you have to do, you keep your left finger like this. Keep your left finger like this and breathe in, breathe out. So that you have to feel the sensation of breathing. Okay, students, you keep like this. And as soon as you are keeping, no, in between after a 1 minute you eat something. Chew. Okay, you keep like this only and you eat. Okay, chew. And when you swallow, do you feel any breathing sensation here? Anyone? You can try it now also. Isn't it, students? So here you have to keep like this, your finger. Breathe. You feel breathing, air coming, air you are taking, air taking. Okay. So in meanwhile you eat something and swallow. What happens? While you are swallowing, what happens? You are feeling this breathing sensation? No. Means just you are stopping your breath for a while. Here like this you are doing a swallowing. At that time it is something is stopping. Something is stopping the air. Isn't it? Air not coming. Yes. So that is what the function of epiglottis is. So it separates the food pipe and the windpipe. What is the function of epiglottis? It separates the food pipe and the windpipe, and also it does not close totally. It is a partial opening and closing of the system. Partial opening and closing of the system. And here, as soon as from the nasal cavity enters into pharynx, at that time, if the air we have taken is much cool, or air we have taken is means we have breathed is very much warm or very much hot, here the pharynx is the place where the air we take is set to normal temperature or to the body temperature. Okay students, so this is the place in the pharynx that the temperature is set to, the temperature of the air is set to our body temperature. This is about what? Pharynx. Once you observe the diagram. So nostrils was over, nasal cavity is over. In the nostrils is the starting point of breathing. In the nasal cavity, hair and the moisture is present, wetting condition is present. So what is that? It filters the dust particles present in the air we breathe. And after that, pharynx is a tube in which it is a tube in which the temperature is adjusted, and in the pharynx you notice what? Epiglottis. You notice what? Epiglottis, which is a passage through windpipe and what? Food pipe. So it is controlling. It is controlling both the windpipe and the food pipe. Okay students. Next one is larynx. You see here larynx, it is a bulging condition. You can see here. The larynx is a bulging condition. This larynx contains vocal cords. You have studied in your 8th class. What is that? Vocal cords. These vocal cords closing and opening. By this only you can give a speech or a song like that. These vocal cords. Larynx contain vocal cords. So how you can describe larynx means it is a stiff box containing vocal cords. What is the larynx here? It is a stiff box containing vocal cords. The opening and closing of vocal cords is responsible for what is that? Pharynx. What do you want about pharynx? Yes, by name Bharat Chaudhary, I think so. What do you mean about pharynx? Yes, once again I will repeat about pharynx. From the nasal cavity, the air enters into the pharynx. Okay, it is after nasal cavity, it enters into the pharynx. It enters into the pharynx. So here in the pharynx, it leads to the epiglottis. It leads to the epiglottis. I said no. From nasal cavity, it enters into pharynx. As soon as we take from air from the nostrils, it enters into nasal cavity. There in the nasal nasal cavity, air and moisture is present. Air and moisture, what it does, the wet condition, it attracts the dust particles. That was okay. And pharynx is present, no? During winter season we take cold air. During summer season we take hot air. Is it good for our lungs? No. So what happened here? In the pharynx only, the temperature gets adjusted to the body temperature. Okay, the temperature of outside air we are taking, no, that gets adjusted with the body temperature. Okay, students? Okay, clear now? And next, in the pharynx itself, epiglottis is present. It is a flap-like structure. We can say valve. Valve means, you know, everyone, students, valve. You will get this valve in where? In your homes. You are having what? Tanks, no? There we are keeping valves. Means it is regulating the flow of what? Water. Same like that, epiglottis regulate the flow of food and air. Okay, sometimes that is why while eating you will feel something happening strange, and sometimes some food particles will come from the nose itself because epiglottis will drive in the upward direction. Understood? That is about the pharynx. Clear now? Pharynx. Then after pharynx, it is leads to larynx. It leads to yes. Who is this Dikshit? So warming and moistening means you will get understand if I say, if same word if I say warming and moistening, what is the use of warming and moistening means you won't get understood. What happens if you take cool air, warming happens. Warming is nothing but it adjusts to the body temperature. If it is cool, it changes to warm. If it is warm, it changes to cool. Cool in the sense the temperature of the air that we take inside, it gets adjusted to the body temperature. That is enough. The air, what is the use of pharynx in the respiration is, it adjusts the temperature of the air to the body temperature. Note down in your textbook at the pharynx. Okay, if we want to adjust the temperature, means if it is cool, we will make it warm. If it is warm, we make it cool. So adjusting to our body temperature. Okay, larynx, it is a box-like structure in this vocal cords are present. What are present? Vocal cords are present. Vocal cords, the closing and opening of vocal cords helps to talk. Helps to talk. Okay, students, helps to talk and also singing. These vocal cords are responsible. In your 8th class you have studied mimicry. So mimicry, how they can modulate their voice. So how they can modulate voice means by restricting the passage of air. So some students, some people, means small children, they used to play like this. They closing their nose and they will talk. At that time, do you get the same voice when you have opened your nose? No. So that is what the passage of air will help us to tune or modulate the voice we are giving. Okay. Next, after larynx, it is a trachea. After larynx, it is entering into trachea. Okay, this trachea, if you observe how it is, a tube-like structure in which it is diverting into the lungs. A tube-like structure, it is entering into the lungs. This one, you can touch like this. You can touch like this. What is this? Larynx leads to trachea. It is a windpipe. Trachea is known as windpipe. It is entering into the lungs. From this trachea, it will enter into the lungs. From the way the trachea is entering into the lungs, no, the point where the trachea is entering into the lungs is known as branchia. Okay, students, trachea is known as windpipe. Trachea is known as windpipe. The point where means at last point, no, it is entering into the lungs. It is entering into the lungs, or the point of the windpipe where the lungs start is is known as branchia, and this branchia has to enter into two lungs, no? Left lung and the right lung. So it should give branches. Okay. Okay. So that is known as branchioles. That is known as branchioles. Okay, students? Branchioles. So larynx to branchia, branchia to branchioles, and branchioles to lungs. Branchioles to lungs. Yes. Branchioles to lungs. In lungs, if you observe clearly, what is present? Small units of lungs are present here attached with this. Okay, small units of lungs are present. Those are nothing but alveoli. If you observe, lungs are spongy in nature. You can compare like this. Lungs are spongy in nature. Okay, same like this. So each and every spongy, this unit is nothing but alveoli. Okay, these are nothing but alveoli. So alveoli is the place where cellular respiration takes place. Alveoli is the place where cellular respiration takes place. Okay, students? Any doubts in this topic? Any doubts in this topic? Yes, students, if you have any doubts, ask. Once again, I will repeat. Nostrils. Nostrils means the starting point of respiration is nostrils. From nostrils, it enters into nasal cavity. The nasal cavity consists of tiny, minute hair, and it is what do bronchioles do? Yes. Branchia, so this is windpipe. From windpipe it is started to branchia and it is entering to bronchioles. It is the pathway that direct the air into each and every lung for what purification. Okay. So from trachea it is started to branchia. The branchia it branched into bronchioles. What is that? Bronchioles. So in order to enter into the lungs, now two lungs, it directs the passage of air to lungs. That's it only. The air should enter into two lungs, no? That is a function of bronchioles. Bronchioles do that. So in the nostrils, in the nasal cavity, the air gets filtered, and from nostrils it enters to pharynx. There, in the pharynx, the temperature of air is adjusted to our body temperature, and in the pharynx one tube-like structure is present, that is nothing but epiglottis. Epiglottis separates the foot pipe and the windpipe, and after that pharynx leads to larynx, in which the larynx we have vocal cords, two vocal cords. The closing and opening of the vocal cords is responsible for our speech, for our talking. And next from larynx it enters into trachea, a tube-like structure which leads to the lungs. And at the point where the trachea enters, the lungs is known as branchia. To enter into two lungs, the branchia gets branched into two, that is nothing but bronchioles. Okay, branchia and bronchioles. In the lungs, each and every unit of the lung is divided into alveoli. Alveoli is the cell, the basic cell of the lungs where cellular respiration takes place. This is about today's topic, respiration. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. You can observe like this. Okay, here trachea. While mentioning, okay, here just I am describing here, no, so I have missed here. I am describing about the diagram, no, in between I have missed here. Trachea, yes, trachea, and next one is branchia and branchials. Can you see it properly? Yes. What helps us to talk and say? Larynx, the vocal cords in the larynx. Why are alveoli so small and uncountable? Yes, the air we breathe is very minute. Okay, some number of millions of oxygen is present in the air, isn't it? So, in order to take each and every oxygen element, no, so the lungs is divided into many uncountable millions of alveoli. What is the function of epiglottis? The function of epiglottis, it separates the food pipe and windpipe. It separates the food pipe and the windpipe. From next class onwards, I will hide the messages. If you chat unnecessary things apart from subject, I will hide the messages. What is windpipe? Trachea is known as windpipe. What is the function of alveoli? Alveoli is the basic unit of lungs that participate in the cellular respiration. What will happen if the respiratory tract is not moist? Yes, very good. That was given in textbook. I know. Yes, what happens means if your respiratory tract is not moist, there is a chance to enter dust particles into your lungs. If you ask any explanation or any doubts, that will be useful to everyone in the session. But if you chat unnecessary things, how shame of you? How shame of you? If just I have missed trachea to write here. I have not missed the explaining of trachea, no? In the drawing also I haven't missed. In the writing I have missed. That is not a problem. But it is making joke to laugh for you. What is the function of nasal cavity? Nasal cavity filters the dust particles present in the air. What happens when dust particles enters into lungs? It disturbs the functioning of the lungs and it may lead to respiratory problems. How the oxygen reaches the blood? How the oxygen, that we will discuss in the next session. After this, that was only. Yes, I hope you have understand well. Okay. While I am saying, please note down the important points if it is not present in the textbook. Vitiated air. Vitiated air is nothing but the air that helps for burning. That is known as vitiated air. What is the function of lungs? Wow. You don't know the function of lungs. Lungs help for respiration. From very what? Third class. From third class we are learning about lungs. We have 2 lungs. Lungs help for respiration. What is the function of lungs? Yes, everyone here, already it was time was over. I thought you will ask any doubts or needed explanation, but you are chatting something unnecessary things and laughing. So we will meet in the tomorrow's class. If you don't ask anything that regarding subject, or if you talk unnecessary things, you will lose yourself. Nothing matters about from my side. Okay, students, see you in the next class.